The morning sun poured into the little cafe, painting golden stripes on the wooden floor. I pushed the door open, the little bell chiming softly, with Anne right behind me. And then I saw him. Min was already there, sitting at a table by the window. A book open in front of him, though he seemed to be just staring out at the street. For a split second, I froze. Felt like the air had suddenly become thick, hard to breathe. He must have sensed my presence because he looked up. Our eyes met across the room. A slow, almost hesitant smile touched his lips. It wasn't a big, flashy smile, but a small, quiet one that seemed to hold a question. Taking a deep breath, I started walking towards his table, Anne following my lead. "Hi, Min," I said, my voice a little shakier than I would have liked. "Fancy seeing you here, Lin Anne." "Hi," he replied, closing his book. "Join me?" We sat down, and an awkward silence fell over us. It was the kind of silence that's so loud you can hear your own heartbeat. Thankfully, the waitress came to take our order, and the simple act of deciding between a latte and a cappuccino broke the tension. Once the coffees were served, the steam rising in delicate curls, the conversation finally began to flow. It started with safe topics, the weather, our classes, a new movie that was out. I found myself laughing at a silly joke he made, a soft, genuine laugh that surprised even me. The sound seemed to hang in the air for a moment. I noticed how Min listened, really listened. He didn't just wait for his turn to speak. His eyes were focused, and he'd nod thoughtfully, making me feel like what I was saying actually mattered. Then, he started sharing little stories of his own. Nothing grand or dramatic, just small moments from his week of funny encounter with a stray cat, his struggle to assemble a new bookshelf. With each story, another layer of his reserved exterior seemed to peel away, and I felt myself relaxing, the initial tension completely melting away. Time just slipped by unnoticed. Before we knew it, the afternoon sun was slanting low in the sky. "Wow, is it that late already?" Anne said, checking her phone. "I have to run, but it was great seeing you, Min." After Anne left, Min and I decided to leave too, so we stepped out onto the sidewalk. The air had cooled slightly. "Which way are you heading?" he asked. It turned out we were going in the same direction, so we started walking together. The conversation from the cafe carried over, but it deepened. We found ourselves talking about our dreams, the futures we imagined for ourselves. I spoke about my desire to travel, to see places I'd only read about in books. He listened with that same intense focus from earlier. Then, slowly, he started to open up. He talked about his passion for photography, how he saw the world through a lens, always looking for the light and shadows, the hidden stories in everyday scenes. He spoke about his fears, the pressure to follow a more conventional path, and the quiet hope that he could one day make a living from his art. I listened with my whole heart, feeling a deep sense of connection, a sincere empathy for the dreams he held so carefully. As we walked, the streetlights flickered on one by one, casting a warm orange glow over the city. The usual noise of traffic and people seemed to fade into a gentle hum, making our little bubble feel warmer, more intimate. We were talking about our favorite childhood memories when he smiled. It was different from the smile in the cafe. This one was wide and genuine, reaching his eyes and making them sparkle. And seeing that smile, right there under the warm glow of the streetlight, my heart did a little flip. It started beating faster, a frantic but pleasant rhythm against my ribs. We reached a busy intersection and stopped, waiting for the light to change. The crowd on the corner pushed us closer together, and our shoulders brushed. A tiny spark, a little jolt of electricity shot through me. It was such a small, insignificant touch, but neither of us pulled away. We just stood there, shoulder to shoulder in our own quiet world amidst the city's hustle. I glanced at him from the corner of my eye and saw a flicker of nervousness on his face, a slight tension in his jaw, and I imagine he saw the hope in mine. The light turned green. The moment was broken. "Well, this is my stop," he said, his voice a little softer now. We stood facing each other for a moment that felt both too long and too short. "It was really good to see you, Min," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "You too, Lin, really?" He gave me one last small smile before turning to cross the street. I watched him go, his figure getting smaller until he was just a silhouette against the city lights. Just as he reached the other side, he hesitated and looked back. Our eyes met one last time across the distance before he disappeared around a corner. I turned and walked the rest of the way home with a smile playing on my lips, replaying every moment, every word, every shared glance. On the other side of town, Min leaned against a wall, letting out a long, deep breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. He closed his eyes for a second, my smiling face clear in his mind. We were in different places, walking under the same night sky, both thinking of each other. And we both knew with a quiet certainty that filled our hearts that this was the beginning of something.